Hey everyone, I'm Ian. You know what I really like? Arcade games.
Unfortunately, arcades have mostly kind of fizzled out in recent years, and though fondly remembered and so somewhat popular, they're never gonna reach true mainstream popularity again.
Speaking of which, Sonic. I'm kidding, of course. I love this beady blue fuckboy, but Sonic did actually have quite a few arcade games, especially right when the series was starting out. And since you guys really seem to like hearing me talk about Sonic the Hedgehog, I figured, hey, that's a video topic I could do. Now, for the sake of my own sanity, we're gonna kind of condense it to a specific subset of Sonic arcade games, namely those from early in Sonic's career, like the 90s, basically. They still make Sonic arcade games to this day, like the Sonic Olympics machines, but yeah, I don't care about that.
The first attempt at a Sonic arcade game, to my knowledge at least, is this cancelled puzzle game called Sega Sonic Brothers. What, like Mario Brothers? Oh, no, not like Mario Brothers at all. This is a pretty standard puzzle game, not a ton to say about it other than that some of the music was then reused in a few places, including the Sonic 3 special stages. But yeah, interesting tidbit aside, let's look at the first released Sonic arcade game, Sega Sonic the Hedgehog.
I think everyone's aware of this game's existence, but I'm not sure how many people have actually gone ahead and played it. It was only released in arcades, it's never gotten a home console port, and even then it was only really released in arcades in Japan to my knowledge. I don't believe it had a major international release. So, I didn't even play it until a few weeks ago when I was at Galloping Ghost. It's an arcade out in Chicago. I was out that way for G-Fest, which it's a Godzilla convention. What can I say? I love him. But I got to try Sega Sonic the Hedgehog after all these years, and you know what? It's really cool.
The game is an isometric platformer, kinda resembling Sonic 3D Blast at a glance. That's a game I gotta talk about too soon, actually. But anyway, unlike that game and its emphasis on exploration, Sega Sonic is all about moving fast and platforming, much more like the main series games. Being a quarter-munching arcade machine, that speedy pace is intensified yet further by the fact that during every single level, something is chasing you. This is explained by having the story of the game basically be that Eggman captured Sonic and is going to kill him. He has to constantly escape from a bunch of death traps, hence the breakneck pace and the constantly being chased by something deadly setup. It does a really good job of keeping you moving and on your toes, and the game is legitimately really tense most of the time.
Also, it's hard. Like, really fucking hard.
I'm not complaining, obviously. It is an arcade game after all, and it definitely feels like one. This game will kick your ass and kill you constantly, and it'll make you smile while doing it. The difficulty isn't helped in my case by emulating it, because it does not help the controls. I grabbed this footage with a joystick, the one I use for all my games on MAME, the emulator I used to grab the footage, but this game is actually controlled with a trackball. You roll it in the direction you want Sonic to go, but it isn't read like a super precise joystick input. Instead, it's more like build up as much momentum as you can in that direction and Sonic will barrel that way. It feels damn satisfying, although pretty tricky, making up for it by feeling very intentionally slippery and quick. Sonic is not precise in this game, and instead he feels frantic and uneasy, which fits perfectly with the game's pace and story. It's just damn fun to play. Also, that is helped by the presentation. My god, this game is gorgeous. Just look at this animation. The fluidity is absolutely nuts. It's like an interactive cartoon, and I cannot get enough of it. The music is damn good as well, which you'd probably expect from Sonic, but it still kind of surprised me for whatever reason. The only real issue I have with the presentation lies in the voice clips. Sonic and company just do not shut up. Every time you do anything.
Honestly, this game is awesome. It's a real shame that it hasn't been ported to anything. I think it is absolutely worth giving a try if you happen upon it somewhere. Or just emulate it. It's not like Sega's made any money off of it anytime recently. But yeah, that was a pretty traditional video game, which, you know, duh. But arcades are more than just video games, so let's look at some things that aren't. Kind of.
Sega Sonic came out in 1993, a few years after the franchise's debut in 91. Prior to that, Sonic had made interactive electronic appearances in Japan in a few forms, namely as other arcade attractions with video game elements thrown in.
Waku Waku Sonic Patrol Car. Yes, that is a thing. It was released in 1991, the same year as the original Sonic the Hedgehog, making it one of the first Sonic games, or kind of games. It was actually one of those amusement rides like you'd see here in the States at Chuck E. Cheese or the front of a Toys R Us. Except it's Sonic themed, so let's check it out.
Oh, okay. So we control Sonic, who's a cop and, appropriately enough, drives a cop car. You basically just steer the car left and right and try to avoid the other vehicles. There's a turbo button and sirens, but I don't really get the point of those. The game won't let me run over the animal friends, which totally sucks. I don't like how Cucky is looking at me. And yes, the chicken in Sonic is named Cucky. Cucky. That's real. Oh look, it's Eggman! Let's get him! Wait, oh fuck, he's getting away. Sonic! Chase him! No! Sonic, why are you turning? He's throwing bombs! We gotta stop him! No, don't get out of the car! I don't care if your shift is over! That donut can wait! And he's done! Okay. Glad our tax dollars are paying you to protect us?
Okay, so here's what you're supposed to do.
The game lets you jump out of the car to hit him until he dies, and that's it. It doesn't change anything else. I'm not entirely sure what the point of Turbo is either, although you can go full GTA on these other cars and just run them the fuck off the road. I kind of spent a long time playing this, actually. The game is 2 minutes long, but I played it for like 15, which, take that for what it's worth. I don't know, it ranks you at the end, almost like a modern mobile game, or... Wait a second.
Does that make this the first Sonic game with a ranking system? SA2, eat your heart out!
Anyway, it ranks you out of 5 stars. I wanted to go for 5, but I couldn't resist murdering random civilians in their car, so, whatever. Overall, this game would be kinda neat to play in the arcade. That ride would actually tilt in the direction you steered and vibrate when you use the turbo, so I'd imagine for a kid, that would be pretty neat.
So that was neat, but was it the greatest Sonic game of all time? Yes. But anyways, that wasn't the only Sonic ride thing that came out. There was also Sega Sonic Cosmo Fighter Galaxy Patrol. It took me a couple takes to get that, not gonna lie. Which was released a few years later. It's fundamentally the same thing as Patrol Car, but in space!
Fuck, this is quite the tonal shift, isn't it? Space Flickies! This one plays like a shmup, except you can't die. Again, this was a ride, not a real game, so you paid to play for a set time regardless of your performance. Instead, you get powered down for getting hit. Fairly standard, other than the fact that powering up is done with a button press anyway? I don't know, you basically just gotta fly up and shoot Eggman down a few times. It's pretty neat, plus it looks and sounds great, but I don't have a ton to say about this one compared to Waku Waku Sonic Patrol Car. I'm not sure why, but I like that one better. This is basically still the same thing, though.
Man, all these arcade games are getting me a little hungry. It kinda gets me in the mood for some popcorn or something. Fortunately, Sega actually thought of that, and in 1992 released Sega Sonic Popcorn Shop.
Calling this one an arcade game is honestly stretching it. It's basically a vending machine with a very short, if charming, minigame thrown in for no real reason other than Japan! Sonic! You get popcorn regardless of your performance in the game because, like, it's a vending machine. But yeah, Sonic and Tails put some popcorn on the treadmill, and Eggman reverses it, so you gotta turn a crank in order to... Oh, fuck, I broke it. Ask for assistance?
Shit, fuck, shit, who do I ask for help? There's no one here to help me! There's never anyone here to help me. Whatever, I own a microwave, I don't really need it. The final game we're going to be looking at today is one that you guys at home might actually have played. It was released on consoles a few times. That game being Sonic the Fighters, specifically the 360 version in this video, just for the sake of high-quality gameplay.
This one was actually released in the US, unlike the rest of these games, under the title Sonic Championship. No idea why the re-releases use the Japanese name, but whatever. As the name implies, it's a fighting game very similar to Sega's own Virtua Fighter and Fighting Viper. And it is played in a 3D space, but basically still plays in 2D, and I don't know, I'm bad at these kind of games.
Pretty sure this is the first time that Sonic & Co. were ever displayed fully in 3D, and that's cool because this looks really, really nice.
I don't know much about Sega Model 2 BC or X arcade games, so I don't exactly know how technically impressive or lackluster this is, but I do really love the way it looks anyway. Sonic and his friends are very distinctly polygonal and chunky, yet still somehow super detailed and pleasant to look at. It's a visual style that I think just kinda works, especially given how stupidly expressive these characters are. It really does have a lot of unique charm, and that extends to the sound design too. Very crunchy attack sounds, very pleasant music, and a very Sonic the Hedgehog feel about all of it. I dig it, but who cares about that? How's the gameplay? Well, here's my secret patented LyingTuna guide to winning Sonic the Fighters. yeah, this game isn't exactly deep. It's actually one of the most shallow fighters I have ever played. Just mash punch and you'll make your way through the campaign just fine. Again, there are special moves here, it's a fighting game after all, but they're basically useless in the face of that single button mega combo. Doesn't mean the game isn't still fun with friends though. On the contrary, it's a blast to play with living, breathing opponents. Hell, even the single player is still fun in a cathartic massacre everyone kind of way. There are a few notable introductions made in this game, like Amy's Hammer, the fan-favorite rocket metal Sonic design in the intro, popular villain characters Bark and Bean, and look, Knack the Weasel's here! Or Fang the Sniper if you prefer, didn't first appear here, but fuck, he's not in a lot of stuff. I'm surprised it took this long to get it ported to a home console. It seems like the perfect candidate for the Sega Saturn, but it never happened. Fortunately, it's available on the Gems collection for GameCube and PS2, as well as being downloadable on the PS3, 360, and Xbox One. Chances are you own one of those at least, and it's cheap, so I think it's worth giving a look. I like it lots.
And apparently I'm not the only one who adores these games, especially since almost all of them, if not all of them, are referenced rather lovingly at some point in Sonic Mania, so that's adorable, but hey, hope you guys enjoyed watching. If you did, and you want to hear more from me about Sonic the Hedgehog, join my Discord server, subscribe, leave a like, and let me know in the comments below what you want me to cover next. I have a lot of Sonic videos planned, so, watch them. Until next time, guys, I'm LyingTuna, signing off. Bye-bye, later, peace. Why am I so fucking bad at outros?